Hey guys, so finally I've completed this video. It's a team building guide with AB considered. What do I mean by that? Because I felt like when we are discussing about a character's kit, we always look in the total number, as in the buff a support unit can do, the damage the character can do. But face it, if we do not have AP to use all of that, they will not be providing the buff that they should. So it is very important for us to consider AP, and when we want to form a team, we want to make sure all the unit does contribute to the entire team. You don't want one to just be standing there and doing nothing at all. So in this video, I will explain what is AP, which is means that if you are a new player, then this will benefit you because it will give you some guide on how you can play this game to form a team and to effectively use them in battle. And on top of that, I have came out with all the recommendations, classifying them into different type of teams like follow-up attack, burn, poison, and yeah, all those teams. So you can refer to that near to the end of the video or somewhere in the middle. So if you are familiar about what AP is and you have been considering that, you don't have to listen to me yapping about AP, just jump right straight to the team recommendation, or basically, yeah, something that would interest you more. So what is AP? Basically, AP is that gray color boxes in the battle that also means the number of action that we can do. And action here meaning that if you are buffing a unit, that's one action. You're attacking, that's another action. If you are moving incantation, there's also another action. So this boxes limits the number of action we can take. Okay, so it's very important because we have to decide what we want to do, how we want to do it, how we want to execute it to get the maximized effect or damage output. So when I was developing this guide, I came up with this AP classification, like how many AP a character needs to function. And in the team recommendation, I have this AP on top of the character, like some is 2, some is 1, some is 0.5. So here, this part I'm explaining how I come up with that numbers. So for example, if you are using a DPS unit, usually let's say you have their ultimate, because I'm considering their rotation not from the start, like after you have start up everything in round 3 or round 4, then you are starting to repeat their rotation. So this is where I'm at. So round 1, assuming that they already have their ultimate, then after their ultimate, usually you might want to squeeze in one of their incantation, S1 or S2. Then after that, in round 2, you will be using their incantation S1 and S2 again, and in round 3, S1 and S2. The reason why you are using their incantation so much is because you want to get their ultimate ready, especially if they are doing very big damage with their ultimate. If it's not with their incantation, then it's just more reason to use them more frequent. So here usually we have 5 Moxies, right? So we need to establish 5 Moxie to quickly get to the ultimate. Most of the time, a lot of ultimate effect lasts only for 3 rounds. So after 3 rounds means during the 4th round, you want the ultimate to be ready again. So having casting ultimate and then using their incantation and then subsequently using 4 more will get you their ultimate by the 4th turn. So which means in a cycle of 3 rounds, you would need at least 6 AP for that DPS unit. So if you divide 6 AP with 3, then they need 2 AP per turn, which is why on top of their portrait, I put 2 AP. Okay, that is what you need to allocate. And for some other DPS that have precast like Windsong or for Lucy, we would also favor using Unfinished Tune, which have precast. And that sometimes can allow Lucy to be throwing out so much incantation and so much damage, and she can recycle her ultimate just in 2 turns. And that also means that they need more AP. So like here, Lucy, round 1, you use ultimate, then you use 1 over S1, S2. In round 2, you can cast a precast, you merge one of it, and that would be 3 Moxie, then you use both incantation, 5 Moxie. In round 3, she get back her ultimate. Okay, so if you consider this 5 AP in 2 turns, so basically her requirement is 2.5 AP. Of course, you can play Lucy, having her to just to cast 2 AP a turn, no problem. is depending on your gameplay, so you can consider her to have like 2 AP or 2.5 AP depending on your game style. Some character has Moxie gain. So for example, like Milania, after you use her ultimate, you attack one time and then she gets back 1 Moxie. So this Moxie helps to reduce her AP requirement, because to get back to her ultimate, she doesn't need to use as much incantation as she should. So for example here, if it's 6 AP in 3 rounds, so now it reduced to 5, and that reduced their AP requirement. If I divide by 3 and round it off to the nearest 0.5, then I get like 1.5 AP requirement. So this is how I establish the numbers. So in case if you are asking why in my team recommendation I have the AP, this is how I do it for DPS units. And as for support, utility, and healer, so this I further divided into 3 to explain to you how I come up with the numbers. I divide it into like 3 types of support unit. The first one here is a support that doesn't really need their ultimate to actually give you the buffs. So for example, you have like and then Lee, maybe she just buff every 2 turns. Like her ultimate helps her, but if you are just using her for support, you don't really have to use her ultimate. Same like Soneto as well. And for Isolde, it depends, right? It depends. If you really want to go for the rousing morale, you do need to use her ultimate. So she can be quite AP hungry or AP greedy. But let's say if you are just using her debuff and you are relying on the passive follow-up attack that she do every start of round where she grants the party power burst, then she can be quite AP friendly. Right? So in that case means they probably need round 1 use a buff, round 2, round 3, then use a buff again, because most buff only lasts for 2 rounds. So by round 3 you have to reapply it. So basically in 4 rounds you need to cast their buff or debuff twice. So 2 divided by 4, that's 0.5 AP. But for most of these characters, I actually put 1 AP. That's because sometimes you do need to use their attack incantation. And sometimes when they got their ultimate, like if you keep using their buff, you will end up getting their ultimate anyway, and their ultimate will also use 1 AP. So when we add it to there and then I round it up, so I classify them as 1 AP. Technically I get 0.75, so if I round it up, then I get 1 AP. So some extra thing to be noted here, like for example Kakania. Kakania can be played rather passively, like she don't have to really attack. But once her empathy is maxed out, you need to dump it off by using her ultimate. So which means occasionally you do want to give her 1 AP in order to slowly gain Moxie, and by the time like maybe during the 7 or the 8 round, she will use the ultimate to dump the empathy. Right? So in that case, I also classify Kakania as requiring 1 AP in order to, function, to continue function as a tank. And some supports, they also can function as sub DPS, for example, Isolde. So in that case, if you are actively using Isolde incantation to cycle her ultimate every 3 turns, just like a DPS, then that means their AP would technically be 2 as well. So do keep that in mind. Then the other type of support here is support that needs their ultimate. So the best example, support that really need to use their ultimate, is support that have array, like Tuesday, like Gertian, like Semmelweis. So because of their frequent rotation, then they are just the same as DPS, which is why I labeled them of needing 2 AP. Just to point out, Gertian, if you have him at P1, as most of my evaluation for this guide is assuming that the characters are P0, but if you have Gertian at P1, then his array lasts for 4 rounds, which means now instead of 6 AP divided by 3, is 6 AP divided by 4. So in this case, it reduces his AP to 1.5 in my classification of AP. And another category here is support unit that doesn't need to do anything, and they can provide the buff, the debuff, and everything to the party. And that, for example, is like Mercuria, 6, and Teferi. So this character, I really put high value on them because they can really help you out when you are forming a functional team, right? When you are having so many characters trying to do so many things, like then you can have this character just standing there and providing buff. Obviously, for Mercuria's case, you can play her more actively and she will be able to provide even more buff. But you can also have her passively and still she can give you like 10 to 20% of damage dealt and crit damage. But I do not want to put them as 0 AP, because usually once in a while, due to RNG of the incantation, you will still need to use one of the incantation. Or let's say you have some ultimate build up and the boss is right there, then you can have Tooth Fairy just use her S1 to inflict confusion, and then you dump as much damage on the boss. So once in a while, you probably will use their incantation. So here I put them as 0.5. And one more things to note, like for Lopera, she is an array unit, but she also has the ability to gain Moxie for free and up to 3 Moxie. So in this case, you just need to use 2 incantation in 3 rounds. So which is why I also put her in 0.5 AP. Okay, so now we have understood about the AP requirements by each of these characters. So how does it matter in team building? Well, do remember in 3 rounds, because I'm talking about the cycle of 3 rounds, you only have 12 AP. So some character needing like 6 AP, and then you have 2 characters that needing 6, you already fill up the entire AP requirement. So if you have another 2 more characters that needs to use that much, they are just going to be standing there and not doing anything, because you have no AP to cast any of their incantation, right? So here, for example, like for DPS, support, tank, and healer, so if you are forming a team, these are the categories that you can have. So for example, like you have a tank, which is Calcania, then you have Villa as a healer, then you have a support, maybe Mercuria, and then you have DPS that can be like Windsong or Anjo Nala, right? So if according to my classification, like DPS is 2, then you bring a support that has 1 AP, tank which is 1, healer which is 1, you have total of 5 AP for that team. So if you multiply by 3, because it is 3 rounds, so you have a total of 15 AP. Well, technically this is still higher than 12, so how am I supposed to cast the additional 3 AP? Well, do note that when you play the game or when you're fighting, sometimes when you use up incantation, new incantation comes in, they merge, right? They merge. And sometimes when you have some incantation and you use one of it which is in the middle, then they automatically merge as well. Or you actively move one of this incantation and merge with the other, which will generate 2 Moxie using 1 AP. Right? So that actually matters. So even though you need 15, but over the 3 round, there might be some of this mechanics which allows you to gain a little bit more Moxie, hence reducing your AP requirement. So 15 to me is still okay. Don't go beyond that, or else you will have issue with the management of all your buff, debuff, and everything else. Okay, so let's say you think that 15 is still too much, you don't want to deal with a lot of this buff and debuff, there's just too many characters and you don't deal with it. Fine, swap it out. For example, remove Villa, put a Tooth Fairy there, so you are reducing the AP for your healer from 1 to 0.5, and then you have overall AP is 13.5 in 3 rounds, which makes things easier for you to manage. Or if you even want to go even lower, you can like remove Calcania with maybe 6, right? Then you reduce it further, and now you just have total of 4 AP, which is just nice 12 AP. In this situation, usually you will have excess AP. So this excess, you can use it like originally you are not planning to use AP for 6. Now you can use his debuff, you can use his buff in order to give you incantation empowerment, or you know, can use more attack for your DPS even though your Moxie is overflowing, doesn't matter. Or you can use more healing, especially if you're fighting very difficult fight, especially for like contents like Reverie, which is coming next batch. You need to be healing more frequently, so do manage your AP, bring it lower, right? So now you can use more of this incantation in order to ensure your team is fully functional. So for example here, if I have Lucy, Villa, Gertian, and Calcania, and Lucy is 2.5, Villa is 1, Gertian is 2, Calcania is 1. So overall, I'm having a lot, right? 2, 4, 5, 6.5, right? So it's way more than I can manage. So at this end of this video, I have to showcase of what I did. Like I have Lucy, Villa, Semmelweis, because I don't have Gertian, and Semmelweis is basically quite similar in order to maintain the arrays. And I have Calcania. So in that case, you can see I spent so much time trying to get all the buff active, and it took me 9 rounds to complete the fight because I could not attack as frequent as I should. So, you know, of course, the better play is that don't buff that much. But if don't buff that much, like I cannot get Semmelweis ultimate ready, then what's the point of bringing Semmelweis? What's the point of bringing Gutian if they're not going to use their ultimate frequently, right? So in that case, I swap it out. So instead of using Semmelweis, I bring the AP down, I put Mercuria in, and you can see that I cleared the stage in 7 rounds where I fully utilize Lucy's incantation and Villa to buff Lucy. So it's very manageable, right? So, and that helps in the damage output. So this is all that I have to share. So I hope you can understand about this AP and how you want to use this AP in order to form a functional team. So the next part of this video is the infographic that I prepare for different type of team comp, like follow-up attack, burn, poison, and I put their AP on top of their head. So now if you want to form a team, you can see these recommendations, and yeah, so now you don't have to like ask me in my runs, hey, I do not have Mercuria, can I swap it with another character? Yeah, if they have the similar AP requirement. So if like Mercuria 0.5, you want to swap it with 6, you want to swap it with TF, feel free to do so. You want to swap it with Lopera, which is coming in the next batch. So yeah, so you can use that and refer. So these videos, in terms of my comments, I will stop here, and you can continue to proceed to watch the remaining of the video to look into the infographic and what I have recommended. And also at the end, there is this video showcase, which I just explained, so you can watch that as well. All right, so thank you very much for watching this video. I hope it really did help you out. And yeah, goodbye and good luck for your Lopera pools.
Join with us, comrades. I admire your courage. I will remember your sacrifice. Charging. Hard scales. For you and for us. Aim and shoot. Don't worry. Rotten luck. Under attack. We share the same dream. Load charging. To a brighter future for everyone. Eliminate target. Target confirmed.
Agreed.
Circuits functioning properly. Loading.
Huh. Very well. Trust me, it won't hurt.
I, Robot, Child of Science. Faraday's Miracle. Go. Damaged.
I hope you like a splash of red.
I will remember your sacrifice. Charging. Loading.
Close your eyes. It will all be over soon.
Sharp Fang. Eliminate target. Barrage.
That was certainly a choice. Agreed. Agreed.
Charging.
Our blood will burn. Have I startled you?
Target confirmed. Go. Damaged.
We share the same dream. I admire your courage.
Loading. Charging.
To a brighter future for everyone. Keep up the pace.
Faraday's Miracle. Barrage. Go. Damaged. Circuits functioning.
That was certainly
Circuits
a
functioning
choice.
properly.
Agreed. Our victory comes in a tide of blood.
I, Robot, Child of Science.
Trust me, it won't hurt. I hope you like a splash of red.
Loading. Charging. Loading.
Close your eyes. It will all be over soon.
Target confirmed. Aim and shoot. The light that illuminates all.
Agreed. Our blood will burn. Have I startled you?
And now to return to my long-term mission. Rest.
Join with us, comrades.
Program activated.
I will remember your sacrifice. I admire your courage.
Loading.
Sharp fangs. For the good of all.
Barrage.
Don't worry. We share the same dream. We share the same dream.
Charging. Loading.
To a brighter future for everyone.
Eliminate target. Target confirmed.
Off my mirror.
Circuits but loading. Charging. Loading. I, Robot, Child of Science. Faraday's Miracle. Eliminate target. Aim and shoot.
Cheer up.
Under attack. I will remember your sacrifice.
A simple arcane trick. Oh, please. I know how to use it.
Keep up the pace.
Hold on. Psychiatrist at work. I will be watching you.
Under attack.
Stay balanced. The moment of silence.
Charging. Loading. Charging.
Learn from silence.
Aim and shoot. Target confirmed. The light that illuminates all.
I admire your courage.
Circuits functioning. Charging. Loading.
Keep up the pace.
I, Robot, Child of Science. Aim and shoot. Faraday's Miracle.
We share the same dream.
Charging. Loading. Charging.
To a brighter future for everyone.
Barrage. Aim and shoot. Eliminate target.
Come back. I need your feedback on our session.